Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be working in Onshape to create a shaft support. I'll show you that right now. This is what we're going to be drawing. Hopefully all of you have had time to set up your Onshape account. You'll be looking at your documents. This is where all of our parts live. And let's get started. So we go up here to create, document. You can name it whatever you would like. Mine is video number 1. I would recommend you name it the part or the activity we're working on. So this is 1.2.3 multi-view drawing activity. All right, so let's look at what we can do first. So first, I'm going to draw the overall shape or diameter of this entire piece. So the back right here, it's a 16-inch diameter circle that is 1 inch thick. All right, so I'm going to go to sketch mode. I like to start on my front plane. It does not matter which plane you start on. This is personal preference. And then I click on the front of the view cube so that I'm looking down on it just like a sheet of paper. I come up here and select center point circle. You can also select this by just hitting C on your keyboard. One left click to plant it at the origin. One more left click to plant it anywhere. But before I do anything else, you can see my dimension right there is gray in a gray box. That means I can now manipulate it. So I'm going to change it to 16, and that is 16-inch diameter. Zooming out with my scroll wheel so I can see the whole 16-inch diameter. All right, I'm going to go back to my ISO view. So when I go up here to check finish sketch, now I want to extrude it, give it a depth. I like to do this from my ISO view, select the part, so that I can see how much depth I'm actually giving it. Just helps me visualize what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to change the direction to go into the page. You can tell by this little arrow, and that way this front of the part right here also lines up with that front plane. And that's, again, personal preference. So we have 1 inch, that's what we want. We're adding, that's what we want. Green check. So good, we have the base of our part. All right, so next I'm going to build this little outcrop. All right, so the overall thickness of the part is 5 inches. But with that 1 inch base, that means this is 4 inches popped out from that base plate. And it is an overall 9-inch diameter. So let's do that. Sketch. Now I'm clicking on the front of the part because I want to merge it with the part. Go back to my front view. Circle tool. Plant it at the origin. Pull it out. Left click plant. And then I'm changing that to 9 inches. All right, that's it. Done with the sketch. Go to my ISO view so I can see it. Extrude. Select my new circle. And it defaults to 1 inch thick. But we know we need it to be 4 inches thick, so 4 enter. Green check. All right, we're starting to look like the piece now. Kind of like a top hat, brake rotor, whatever your mind's telling you. But we're getting there. All right, so now let's cut this 4-inch hole, 4-inch diameter hole, all the way through the piece. All right, so sketch. I want to draw on top of my top hat right now. I can still view down on it with my front by clicking on the front part of the view cube. Back to our circle command, attaching to the center point of that circle, planting it with a left click, and then manipulating it to 4 inches before I click off of it. All right, so now we're done with this sketch. Back to my ISO view. I can extrude, select my new circle. It's going to automatically add. It always adds first. But I want to remove it. This is a subtractive extrude. And I want to remove it all the way through. So I could change this right here to 5 inches. But the best way to do that, goes all the way through, is to just change right here on this blind drop-down bar to through all. It goes through the entire piece. That way, no matter what the distance is, it's going to go through the entire piece. So that's what I want. Green check. Perfect. I have a hole all the way through my piece. The 4-inch hole. All right. So now we need to make this little counter bore. All right, so it's a 6-inch diameter. I can see that by the hidden line right here. 6-inch diameter, and it goes in 4 inches. And I know that, again, my total thickness is 5 inches, and I'm leaving kind of a 1-inch flange right down here at the end. So this goes in 5 inches, or 4 inches. All right, so sketch. Now I'm drawing on the back of my part. I can click on back of my view cube to look down on it like a piece of paper. All right, attached to the origin, I pull out, I plant it with the left click, and then before I do anything else, 6 on my keyboard, enter, and that is my overall diameter. All right, I'm going to look at this from an isometric view, exit sketch mode, enter extrusion, click on my new circle. Again, it's automatically going to add. I want to remove. I do not want to go through the whole thing because then I'm just going to have a 6-inch diameter hole instead of the 4-inch diameter hole at the mouth of the part. So we still need this 4-inch diameter hole. 6-inch diameter counter bore needs to go in 4 inches. All right, and let's green check. And there we are. I have my counter bore. All right, looking the same on the front, but a counter bore in the back. Excellent. All right, so now we need to add these 4, almost like bolt holes for bolting this shaft support to our part. All right, so there's 4 of them, and they all have a 2-inch diameter, and they're located on a 12-inch axis. So this is a center line, not a hidden line, center line that's going through the middle of all 4 of those almost bolt holes. So let's do a sketch. I'm going to draw on this plane right here, looking down on it on the front. All right, so what I'm going to do first is draw a 12-inch circle. So come out, plant it, manipulate it to 12 inches, and there we go. All right, this is going to give us, I'm going to escape out of circle mode just to move this out of my way, move the dimension out of my way. All right, and escape will always take you back to your normal cursor. So we have our 12-inch diameter axis. Now I need to build a circle, and I can hover over the origin until it turns orange, and then pull it straight up, and you see I've got almost an orange dotted line following me, and then it will connect to that 12-inch line, and then once I have both of those lit up in orange, I can plant it with a left click, one more left click, and then manipulate that to 2 inches. So now I have escape back to normal. Now I have my 2-inch diameter hole, but I need 4 of these. I have 1, I need 4. So what I'm going to do next is come up here in this line of commands. There's one right here called linear pattern. Looks like 4 little squares. Drop down that. You have circular pattern. Looks like 5 little circles. Click on circular pattern. I can select what I want to pattern. So this is it. All right, and it defaults to 3 times. So you can see I have a 360-degree circle. It's going to be at 120 degrees each. So if I change that to 4 times, by double-clicking on it, change it to 4, enter. Now I have one at 90 degrees each. And that is exactly what we're looking for. All right, so back to my drawing. I can left click, and left click. We're done. I can escape. All right, so I have my 4 pieces. I'm going to delete this axis line just so you can keep it if you like. Whenever you go to extrude, if you have it, you're going to have to click on both sides of the circle. Not a big deal. I'm going to delete it just for now. And then I'm going to exit my sketch mode, go into extrusion. I'm going to look at it isometric so I know that I'm removing these pieces, and then you just go around and you click on every single little circle. So again, it's adding right away, adding 1 inch. I want to remove it, and I want it to go through the entire piece. And then enter, green check. There we go. and I can hide these planes to just make it look a lot prettier. There is our part. Alright, that's what we need. Get back to my isometric view. You can also go right here. Got isometric, dimetric, trimetric, anything you like. Alright, so this is our part. Alright, so now if we would like to create a drawing, I will show you how to do that in a future video, how we can bring this into a drawing file and set it up with a section view. All right, thank you for joining.